Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the top 10 best golf courses in Pennsylvania. Before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to our channel for future updates. The Keystone State, officially known as the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, is located far enough northeast of the United States to share a 50-mile-long Lake Erie border with Canada. Philadelphia, the state's largest city, is significant in the history of the United States since it was here that the Founding Fathers met in 1776 to sign the Declaration of Independence, signaling the end of British authority in the country. According to USGA records, the state of Pennsylvania has 20 separate golf associations registered, with the Pennsylvania Golf Association being the most powerful, with over 300 linked clubs on its books. Surprisingly, the runner-up, defeated 8-6, in the first amateur championship organized by the PAGA in 1909, the year of its founding, was none other than A.W. Tillinghast of Philadelphia Cricket Club. Here are the top 10 best golf courses in Pennsylvania. Number 10. Saucon Valley Country Club, Wayhill, Bethlehem. The tree-lined fairways of the Wayhill course, one of three outstanding 18-hole courses at Saucon Valley, were designed by William and David Gordon, in the mid-1960s around an old abandoned quarry. The course was previously owned by the Bethlehem Steel Company, and despite the prestige of its older brothers, the Old and the Grace, many people consider the Wayhill layout to be the most beautiful 18 holes on the property. Superintendent Jim Roney kindly provided the following feedback. A sympathetic repair was completed in 2010, with Tom Marzolf of Fazio Golf serving as the architect. The project's goals were to modernize the golf course while preserving its history. Modernizing and updating the course, while keeping its present appearance, were some of the design components. With a sensitive repair that conserved the original design, we sought to offer a joyful and elegant playing experience for all handicaps. We chose to preserve the same bunker type, keep the course hard but not punitive, and improve playability by adding tees for golfers with higher handicaps. We also sought to identify ways to save money on labor and upkeep. As a result, the number of bunkers was reduced by a third, and out-of-play rough was converted to native areas. Number 9. Saucon Valley Country Club, Old, Bethlehem. From the longest tees, the 18-hole Old course at the Saucon Valley Country Club location in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, measures 6,808 yards for a par of 71. On bent grass, the course rating is 73.2 and the slope rating is 137. The Old golf course, designed by Herbert Strong, first opened in 1922. As the general manager, Kimberly Clark Warren oversees the course. Number 8. Stonewall, Old, Elverson. Well, in the early 1990s, a group of well-heeled golfers in Pennsylvania had just the man to, well, not exactly rescue anyone from the quagmire, but to build a private golf club, where a select group of members could retire for a game of golf. Stonewall was founded by famed legal eagle Jack May, who commissioned architect Tom Doak to design 18 minimalist courses around a clubhouse renovated from a collection of historic stone farm buildings. The only sport available would be golf. There would be no tennis courts or swimming pool, and the fairways would be free of cart lanes and carts. The fairways wind past woods, wetlands, lakes, and creeks in a really beautiful fashion, thanks to Doak's gentle touch in routing the course across a very hilly topography. The par 3 holes, 3 on the front 9 and 2 on the back, are all beauties, with the frightening, downhill 5th being the greatest of them. The tee ball must carry across marshes to a green bordered by woods, and shielded on the right side by a creek. The inward half of the course may be less enjoyable for some, perhaps because to the lack of water elements, but the par 4 finishing hole puts the round on a high note. The second shot is played downhill to a green with extra sand on the right side to capture poor approach shots, after an uphill tee shot, where the ball must escape, a series of bunkers on the right of the fairway. Stonewall presently has a total of 36 holes, thanks to Tom Doak's addition of the 18-hole North course in 2003. Number 7. Lancaster Country Club, Meadow Creek, Dogwood, Lancaster. At the first AGM of Lancaster Country Club in 1901, 119 golfers were registered as members, and they played on some rented fields that had been fashioned into a basic 9-hole layout. The course was so rudimentary that original scorecards just listed hole names, neither yardages or par statistics. By 1920, the club had relocated to its current location, and William Flynn had been hired to design a new 18-hole course. Flynn, who would later design the magnificent Shinnecock Hills course in 1937, had previously worked as a greenkeeper at Merion Cricket Club, as the golf club was known at the time, and his 10 months at Lancaster would prepare him well for future designs that are now compared favorably to Colt and Mackenzie courses. Lancaster Country Club today contains 3 9-hole circuits, each with a par of 35, as well as a 6-hole, Sunset 6 short course, which was built by William and David Gordon in 1959. The original Meadow Creek and Dogwood 9s, also known as the Old or Flynn course, combined to form Lancaster Country Club's most popular 18-hole combination. However, all 3 loops were built on rolling terrain, with a river running through the heart of the landscape, allowing water to play a role in no less than 15 of the property's holes. Highlands, the third 9-hole circuit, is a standalone course. Number 6. Fox Chapel Golf Club. When Fox Chapel hosted the 1985 U.S. Women's Amateur Championship, which Michiko Hattori won, some critics were underwhelmed with the Seth Rayner design. Greens had become round, and many bunkers had become overgrown, with those that remained having elegant new designs. The Fox's 17th hole, which was originally a Biarritz hole, had the front portion of the green and trench manicured as fairway, which was particularly worrisome. Rayner's elements were restored in the early 1990s by architect Brian Silver. He reclaimed ancient bunkers, especially the necklace looped around the front of the 11th, short, green, and reclaimed green proportions, including the Biarritz. Tom Marzolf of Tom Fazio Design has worked to develop and draw additional Rayner-inspired form and bunkering, with the most recent work debuting in the fall of 2020. Number 5. Laurel Valley Golf Club. Laurel Valley Golf Club, considered by some to be Dick Wilson's finest design, was founded by a consortium that included Arnold Palmer, who resided just a few miles away. The company even attempted to get Arnie to leave the PGA Tour and become the club's head professional and manager. Palmer is said to have pondered the offer for some time before dismissing it. Consider how different the tour would have been if Arnie hadn't founded Arnie's Army in the early 1960s. Palmer, on the other hand, won 7 majors and a total of 52 titles while also founding a golf design company that refurbished the beautiful Laurel Valley 3 times for major events. Number 4. Philadelphia Cricket Club, Wissahickon. Tillinghaste's home club in his early years as a golfer was Philadelphia Cricket, so when he designed a new course for the club in the early 1920s, he paid extra attention to it. It deteriorated over the course of a century. Greens have shrunk, bunkers have deteriorated, and trees have grown, including one right through the roof of a clubhouse veranda. Keith Foster was hired in 2008 to restore the course to its Tillinghast splendor, but due to the weak economy, the work was postponed until the summer of 2013. The cricket has been restored to Tilly's original condition, with trees removed and old greens and bunkers returned, including the famous Great Hazard on the par 5 7th. Tillinghaste's ashes were dispersed in the Wissahickon Creek, which runs across the 18th green. Number 3. Aronimink Golf Club. Aronimink is a textbook example of architectural progression. "I meant to make this my masterpiece," Donald Ross declared after finishing his design in 1928. In the 1950s, club members hired William Gordon to remove out-of-play fairway bunkers and relocate additional bunkers closer to the greens. Dick Wilson, George Fazio, and Robert Trent Jones later redesigned the course. Ron Pritchard, a course restoration specialist, spent 7 years rebuilding the course to resemble the original Ross design, as evidenced by vintage aerial photographs. However, the club recently had architect Gil Hansa, who lives nearby, reconstruct the course in accordance with Ross's original blueprints. Number 2. Merion Golf Club, East. Merion East has long been regarded as America's best course, on the smallest parcels of land, and when it hosted the US Open, for the first time since 1971 in 2013, the current generation of big hitters couldn't beat this cunning little course. They couldn't hit its winding fairways, which are bordered by creeks, haphazard rough, and ob posts, and they couldn't hold its canted greens, which are bordered by bunkers that looked back. Justin Rose won the tournament with a 1 over par 72 hole total, 2 strokes ahead of Jason Day and Phil Mickelson. With Gil Hans's 2-year makeover of Merion's East course, making even more improvements, the US Open is almost assured to return to Merion in the next 32 years. Number 1. Oakmont Country Club. Oakmont's original penal design was re-established after tens of thousands of trees, mostly planted in the 1960s, were removed, including the game's nastiest, most notorious bunkers. Founder architect H.C. Founds staked out bunkers whenever and wherever he saw a player hit an offline shot, deep drainage ditches, and ankle-deep rough. Oakmont also possesses of the game's fastest putting surfaces, which were on display during the 2016 US Open despite some early rain delays. The United States Golf Association has already granted Oakmont the 2025 US Open, reiterating its status as the host of the most US Opens in history. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.